Hey guys, what's up? Sermo11 here with my review of Bleach Chapter 659, There Will Be Frost. It's been a while since I've done a Bleach review, and that's only because I felt like the previous chapters weren't really review worthy, and I guess I'm more into Naruto, so I guess that's why Naruto got the bulk of the reviews opposed to Bleach. I am a Bleach fan, but a lot of times it feels like there's nothing for me to talk about in the chapter, so again, it's just like I like Naruto a lot and I'm able to talk about it, but with Bleach I'm not really able to talk about it, so I guess that's kind of the explanation as to why there haven't been any reviews on the channel in a long time. So, in the last chapter, Toshiro arrived after, we can only assume, killing Perninda or containing Perninda in some way, and he's frozen part of Gerard, aka Thor without the hammer, and they're about to fight. And I might have to go back on what I said earlier, what I just said, because I did like the chapter when the Miracle was getting beat up and he gave that speech. That was pretty cool. And certain moments in Bleach have been pretty cool, but like overall, it's been like nothing for me to talk about on the channel. So they introduce themselves to each other, you know, Gerard and Toshiro, and Gerard breaks the ice and then the fight begins. He immediately hits Toshiro, but Toshiro activates his Bankai, and I just love the idea behind the Bankai. It's so cool when the characters just say that one line and then they transform, and it looks like Toshiro froze the top half of Gerard, and of course we see Momo watching the battle because, you know, brother and sister. Of course she's the first one to get up after getting beat down by Gerard, and that's about it for this scene. There really isn't that much to the Toshiro versus Gerard fight. I don't really know what other people think about Bleach currently. I mean, I've read a few comments. I watched some reviews, but again, that's not like the overall opinion. I actually liked how Tite Kubo focused on one fight for a month, or it was a little bit over a month or so, and it's way more organized that way rather than skipping around from fight to fight. Skipping around is more classic Bleach, I guess. They did that in the Soul Society arc, they did that in the Ronkar arc. I just like the way that, you know, the way that he's doing it right now, you know, just have one big fight and then go back. But he still has to handle like a big fight, because what I mean by big fight is like it's like one problem with these big fights is that there's so many Quincy's left. No, not Quincy's, Shinigami. There's so many Shinigami left and there aren't a lot of Quincy's left. Sorry for that. And it's just like the Shinigami, they aren't going to die. You know, people have been brought back. At this point, I think only Quincy's will die. So it's just weird with the big fights. There's only like 6 enemies left, 6 or 7 enemies left. And it's weird. I think, how many members of the squad are there? There's Gerard, there's Perninda, there is Askin. What's his name? Lily. Yeah, that guy. The black dude, as everyone says, you know, the black guy. So, yeah, I was talking about the big fights, the problems with that. And Gerard's power-up, it's similar to Yami in that he becomes big, but it's somewhat different. I just wish he had, like, a new power altogether. It's kind of recycling a power, even though it's different, but I wish he had something. I wish he would have had a hammer, but you can do that, you know. That's not just Marvel. That's not just Stan Lee. You can give him a hammer. Please do that. Anyways, the next part of the chapter, we start to get more of Uryu's backstory, and I'll be honest, I don't remember much about this character. His dad has some stuff going on, right? He married the next best thing because he couldn't marry Ichigo's mom. Uryu was trained by his grandfather who was killed, something like that. And I checked the wiki after I wrote that out, and I was pretty much right. I think Uryu's dad will be important to this arc overall. He might be like the one to save them or the one to stop Yuha, or he might sacrifice himself so Uryu doesn't die or something like that. And again, there's so many characters in Bleach, and most of them are on the battlefield, but there are still some characters that haven't shown up or still can. For example, the Fullbringers, they haven't done anything yet, but we do know that they are on the battlefield. And one-on-one fights are better than these group fights, but again, we don't have that many enemies left because the number of like friends of the Shinigami kind of outnumber the whole, really, like the Shinigami themselves. I believe they outnumber the all the letters that Yuha had. He had like 26, and then some other people. No, it was like 26, and then I don't think there's any extra actually. Are there? Uryu might be an extra. Other than that, it's like 27 people. So the flashback, we get to see Uryu as a child, and he saw his dad operating on his dead mom's body, and they kind of screwed him up, and who wouldn't be screwed up from that? And we also see Uryu and Ichigo, they're talking, and Ichigo is wondering why Uryu isn't in a gifted high school because he wants to be a doctor and everything, but he doesn't want to become a doctor anymore due to what he saw. I don't understand, like, where is this coming from? Like, did he say he wanted to become a doctor again? I don't remember. And why did he come to that decision just in high school? Because he saw his father operating on his mother when he was a child. And maybe they just brought it up in conversation then, but I don't understand why you would talk about like a childhood dream or anything, and if you gave up on it that long ago. So we flash forward to real time, and Haschwalth and Uryu are talking, and if you remember, Haschwalth gets Yuha's powers at night, so he can see into the future, and Haschwalth says that the future shows nothing but worry, and Uryu brings up his betrayal, and Haschwalth is like, I haven't said anything about the future specifically, and it's kind of a trap. It's pretty much a trap in a conversation sort of way. And Uryu has been spreading these little square things around. And I don't remember these, but they have something to do with his father and something to do with like the bow that they use. The bow that they use is like a glove, and then the bow that the Stern Ritter uses is different. It's like reishi or something. And I forgot, man. The Quincy's absorb reishi, right? They use it to fight. Again, I don't remember this stuff, man. I've seen all of Bleach. It's just, it wasn't something I was like super into. But where am I at? So I was talking about Uryu and Haschwalth. So yeah, Haschwalth, he attacks Uryu to confirm his suspicions. And whenever someone says something dramatic in Bleach, there's an explosion. Like, he pulls his sword out and there's an explosion. Like, I want to know what specifically happened. Like, I want a flashback to how that explosion happened, because it's happened a few times in Bleach, and I don't understand. All he did was pull his sword out. Like, he doesn't even have a Bankai or anything. He's a Quincy. What did he do? And Uryu ends up running into Ichigo, and I really like this ending. And there's really only two ways I can see this going down. Uryu has to fight Ichigo to prove himself, and he's going to end up screwing Ichigo over or something, and then he's probably, like, he's going to have him, like, on the verge of death and not kill him or something like that. I don't really think that would work with the story for Ichigo to win the fight, but it's possible. Ichigo, he still has his new powers that we really haven't seen, but it's just, like, I don't know, I feel like it'd be pretty cool to see Uryu just, like, mess Ichigo up, but Ichigo also has like his hollow powers that probably wouldn't let him die or anything like that. And the other possibility involves the two working together against Haschwalth. I don't know if we'll get that like this early in Bleach. And hopefully we get some of the Ichigo and Uryu comedy scenes soon. I feel like that would be included even if it's a serious moment. And this is an RA chapter of Bleach. I'm sorry that my review's so long. I probably should cut a little bit of that out, because really this should have been like 5 minutes or something like that. And I like the stuff with Uryu the most, but I'd love for the fights to actually be covered and not skipped around, or, you know, not shown fully. Anyways, what did you think about this chapter? I'm Sir Mel11. Check out my Facebook and Twitter. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time, and peace out.